Welcome back to another episode. Today's topic is required minimum distributions. Now, if you have a 401k and you are of retirement age and you start withdrawing against that account, what required minimum distributions are is an acceleration schedule for that distribution. So, in other words, the government wants to essentially receive their taxes in an orderly capacity. So, what that essentially means is it's going to force you to take more money out to essentially hit those required minimum distributions because the whole idea is they want that account to be empty as you get older in your years and are kind of just closer to the point of not needing those funds anymore. But in any case, that's the way it's actually designed. Now, the reason I actually introduced that today is because I did something this month that I haven't done for a number of years, and this is in regards to my son's allowance. Now, this is a very different process than I actually went through when I was a kid. I remember my parents actually gave me an allowance from the money that they actually earned from working and for doing various chores around the house and for doing work. That's how I actually received my money. My son has it very differently than that. So essentially, what we set up for him was a trust fund. Now, the trust fund is essentially the money that he's received all throughout his childhood for birthdays, gifts, you name it, right? And so he's got a good size fund there. Now, what we actually started doing when he was 8 years old is we started giving him an allowance based on that money. The thing I liked about that was that it wasn't my money, it was his money. So he essentially could make whatever decision he wanted in regards to how to spend that money, but we still had guidelines for the house that if he did not adhere to, he might lose certain privileges. But it was his money, so it's something that he actually gets to make the decision on. Now, what we actually did that was a little bit different with that is I made sure I charged him taxes. So I believe started giving it to an allowance to him at 8, and it ended up being about $10 a week. And of that $10 a week, there was a 25% tax. So I wanted him to feel what the burn of taxes were early in life. So that 25% in taxes actually got taken from his allowance and actually got put into a retirement account. Now, you're probably asking, how can you have a retirement account for an 8-year-old? Very simply, we're able to set up a Roth IRA for him. And as an employee for one of my businesses, he was actually able to deposit those funds into a Roth IRA. So that's how we actually use the taxes. We use that to actually fund his retirement. So instead of taking it, for the government, so to speak, that was essentially used for his retirement. Now, considering he is 13 now, he has not gotten a raise or any change in that trust fund allowance for quite some time. So since he's older, there's a lot more interest that he actually has, and he wanted a new phone. We decided to change everything around. So we're actually using this concept of required minimum distributions to make sure that he runs out of money by age 16. So the same way the government actually accelerates their schedule to make sure that you deplete, all the funds within a retirement account, we're doing the same thing for his trust fund. Now, the goal from that is he's got to come up with other ideas and methods in order to create income that's going to supplement something that is no longer going to exist after a certain point. So that was purposeful. But in addition to that, what that also actually allows us to do is give him a little bit more money so he has a little bit more spending money to buy the things he actually wants. Now, we also reduced the taxes because I also wanted him to feel that, okay, you're actually getting more money now and you're paying less in taxes. Why? Because not a lot of people believe that is possible. But through planning, through the right strategy, you can actually make more and take more home. Now, how you do it is very important because if you're not doing it the right way, you'll probably hear the saying, the more you make, the more they take. But if you understand how taxes actually work, you can actually make more and pay less in taxes. Now, that's a lesson for another day, but I just wanted to introduce you to this concept of required minimum distributions, how they work while they're there, why they are there, and how we're actually using it as a way to actually teach our son how to manage his money. So I hope you appreciated this clip. I always have fun when it comes to teaching my kids about finance and strategy and how to think. And I hope this lesson has served you well. So look forward to catching you on the next episode. And until then, bye.